My name is John R. Salter, Jr. This is my story, and it's real.
John Salter, Jr. is the head of Indian Studies at the University of North Dakota.
John R. Salter, Jr.
and holds a master's degree in sociology.
John R. Salter, Jr.
He was also director of Catholic social justice activities.
John R. Salter, Jr. My then 23-year-old son and I took off, pointed toward Mississippi and New Orleans. At about 10 minutes of 8, almost an hour and a half later, we emerged from the double amnesia. John R. Salter, Jr. in a kind of energy field which added up to the most exquisite, shimmering, silvery. John R. Salter, Jr. I also saw this as a very friendly kind of an appearance, a sort of a adios or a hasta luego. Small implant up my right nostril and beyond. This was a painless procedure, and we believe that it affects the pituitary gland, one of the endocrine glands. Immediately after that, an injection was made in the vicinity of the thyroid gland. And following that, there was a massive injection into the upper central chest, the thymus gland.
John Salter began to notice changes to his body. His fingernails, which he'd normally clipped every 3 weeks, had to be clipped once a week. His hair began growing.
I now had developed a very strong need for protein, meat and fish. Meat and fish. At the same time, an odd craving for things like green peas. But in the middle of May 1989, I stood in my office and realized that I had gone 24 hours without smoking anything. And I stopped smoking and have remained a non-smoker without suffering a single physical or psychological twinge. No twinges, intense sadness that I felt. And then the message came that we will all see one another again in another. John R. Salter, Jr.